because we felt like he wasn't responding to us very well, in our efforts to try to bring police accountability. But I really appreciate how you reached out to us, and how we were able to have some really good conversations that night, preceding the event. And I think that turned out to be a great experience for us, for the Austin Police Department, and for you. And I thought that your quote in the Austin Texan was a fabulous quote. It was wonderful. I don't know if you got to see it, but it was a great quote. We're the Peaceful Streets Project, and everything that we do is focused on trying to create a more peaceful society. Everyone that's in our group comes from very different backgrounds. We're a very diverse and eclectic group. We don't represent any single political ideology, no single race, socioeconomic class, religion. We have people in our group that have never had any trouble with the law, all the way to people who've actually had to serve time in prison. We have a lot of victims of police abuse in our group. We have civil rights activists, and we have peace activists. Actually, there's a bunch of people in here who are peace activists. And the way that we try to deal with problems, with violence, institutionalized violence in our society, is through direct action, non-political action, and non-partisan action. And so we really appreciate what you guys do through your institute, through your efforts to try to reach out to people and try to change the way people think and the way people interact through your various initiatives. And that's what we do too. We like to we tell people that we're trying to change the culture. We're trying to get people to change their perception of what society should look like, how much we need to rely on certain institutions, and how we can find better ways to deal with that. And we've had a lot of success here in the past, not even a year. We only kicked off the Peaceful Streets in around May of this year, and already we have been recognized a couple times, including by the Austin Chronicle for the best grassroots movement of the year. I think that there's not enough organizations out there that are promoting peace, and that's something that I came to appreciate for sure when I went to your event and I looked through your brochure and I talked to a lot of the people in your organization. And when it comes to peace, a lot of people think that the only way that you can get peace is through a strong arm, and violence. And we just reject that notion. About me personally, I'm actually a former military captain, and after 9/11 happened, I had someone who's very close to me in the military, someone I love very much, told me as soon as the event happened, he said, you know what, I'm ready to go to war for the ideals of Christianity. And that was a really shocking statement to me, because I never thought about it like that. And a lot of people in the country, as you know, felt the same way. But the great thing about, at least from my own personal experiences, when I went to Kosovo and then I went to Iraq, I got to meet with people. I got to become friends with people over there, and I immediately was able to see that it's not us versus them. We're all part of humanity, and we all have the same dreams and aspirations. We all want to take care of our families and leave a better future for our children. And then I got to travel a lot throughout the Middle East, South Asia, and North Africa, and I was able to learn a lot from that. So I love the fact that you guys have you help people explore those regions of to Turkey and create those bonds and help break down a lot of those stereotypes. And the thing about the Peaceful Streets Project is it's very much the same. There's been a lot of police abuse and a lot of people who've been victimized throughout, since police have, since the institution was created. But one of the great things about what I feel that we're doing is that we're putting a new face on it, and we're breaking down the belief that the cops are out there fighting the bad guys, and when someone gets victimized or hurt, that it's somehow their fault because they were engaged in something illegal. And by giving a face to the victims, and by getting people to step out of their preconceived notions and their prejudices, we have actually seen a very positive movement towards embracing more peaceful solutions to the institution of policing, and to actually protecting and serving and defending one another, as opposed to always trying to rely on some outside institute that oftentimes ends up hurting people. So all I can say is that I'm honored to be here. The people in the Peaceful Streets project fully support, you know, the efforts that you guys are taking, and I see a lot of parallels between them. And if there's anything that we can do to help you guys in the future, I would love to do that. I think that you guys are fabulous. And the Peaceful Streets project, a lot of times people point to me because of I was arrested and falsely assaulted and charged on New Year's Day because I saw cops assaulting 2 women. But fortunately, I had a whole community come to support me and back me and defend me, and then Peaceful Streets sprung out of that. And I don't like the fact that so much credit is given to me, because it really is an amazing community behind me. And so I would actually really appreciate it if everyone from the Peaceful Streets Project would actually introduce themselves to the group, because we are a very diverse group, and we are unified in one mission, and that mission is to create a more peaceful society. So I would love it if everyone just introduced themselves to the group.